Hello everyone, welcome to Risk United. There seems to be an issue with the stuck at 14 thing, so we're going to leave that there, but we're just getting the final people in now. There is 3 people left to join, Black Major and Skirlin's Waters. So we'll get them in now. Skirl's been invited, there's Waters, PC crashed, so we're going to give him a moment. Black Major is ready for the invite. Okay, let's say it wrong. It is going to be full quality today, and it is in Austria, so all to play for, and it is going to be great. Lepson, thank you for the 25 bits. I see that in the chat. I saw it during the starting thing, but couldn't read it out, obviously. Yeah, we've got 19 people in now, so the last person is going to be the main man himself. Les Waters on La Parole. I'm also just going to quickly go to the Be Right Back screen. I want to make sure that the telemetry is working before we start it. Today. Okay, I had that turned off. Right, it's connected. For the stream. Go to the intermission screen. Yes. So Les Waters. We're just waiting on him until, actually, while we're waiting for him, we're going to go to the national anthem, which will be for Austria. So give me one moment. We'll get this set up. And yeah. Okay. Everyone stand for the... Oh, give it a second. Everyone stand for the Austrian national anthem. And that was the Austrian national anthem. Someone else disconnected. Les Waters said he might be a bit late because his PC crashed. We need to find who disconnected and get them an invite. It might be the AlphaTauri driver. No, it isn't. It was a Mercedes. Will McLaren. It was the box. The box disconnected. Okay. We'll get an invite to the box. Although a lot of people might want him to not reconnect. The obvious factor that he is miles ahead in this championship. But we'll talk more about him in the pre-show, so not in the pre-show, during the qualifying. The box's game crashed as well, so Les Waters and the box both going to be joining during the qualifying session. It's Q1, Q2, Q3. Remember, as always, just to keep it nice and tidy and everyone ready up. And then, yeah, Les Waters and the box can both join mid-session. Okay, everyone go to Team BCs. Oh, remember, cooldown room if you finish in the top 3. And, yeah, cooldown room, top 3. Then, one interview, stay in your Team BC. It's not guaranteed that you get an interview, but always nice to try. Here we go then. Right, we're in the commentary room now. Just getting prepared for Austria. There'll be 20 drivers on the grid to start us off today. 2 of which will be joining momentarily. This Waters is there. Then the boss can also just join. But here we go then for Austria. Guys, I've done oopsie. Give me one moment. Give me one moment, please. Oh. Oh no. Yeah, I am stupid. I'm very stupid. Okay, here we go then for Austria. Nothing shown up. Okay, maybe. Here we go then for Austria. What is happening? Nothing. Okay. I guess the intro decides not to work today. Anyways, it is going to be a cloudy session in qualifying. It won't be completely dry. And it also looks like Captain Smek disconnected. Same with Jani. So we will get them invited now. Okay. So Captain Smek, as always, getting the first disconnect of the session. Then followed by Jani. Oh, there's Waters is here as well. And Jani. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure why the intro didn't work. I feel like it'll be a bit too late to show it now, but here we go then. For qualifying one, we'll have all the drivers ready to get underway and started for this Austrian qualifying session. Yeah. There we go. Qualifying one in Austria. Who's going to be the first person to leave the pit lane? I do see a Haas there, but the Ferrari of W Best is going to be the first person out on track today. He is not being on form as of recently, but he does have 41 points in the standings and is, as it stands, out of the championship fight. If the box can bring the challenge on to the if the box can win Austria, then he is officially knocking anyone out of the top 5 from winning the championship. We also just need to get the box back in the session as well. We've got Johnny in the session. So we've got Johnny, then the box is here. Okay. Here we go then. We're going to get started off with the first out lap, or the first hot lap of the session. And it's going to be started by W Best. And here we go. It's quite a short lap. It's around a second and 7 to 8 to 9 seconds. And into turn 1, it doesn't go as fast as you might think. But you've got to remember, there's no grip on the track at the moment. And now W Best going down the first DRS straight of the lap. And it's going to be a 16.3 for him. There's actually a little turn there, which is barely a corner at all. And here we go for W Best. Now, that was a Williams getting out of the way from there, letting him finish off his lap. And there we go, 20 drivers on the grid now. And they are all preparing to get into the session. We've got to remember also, Jani and Black Major both have grid penalties for this race and will not be participating in qualifying. So you see Black Major is on an out lap, but it will be coming in as soon as that lap finishes. And there we go. For W Best, it's going to be a 105.7, and that's a very good lap to start him off in Q1. And here we go, Black Major, who is using driver number 2, which is quite unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of drivers didn't stick to driver numbers. And anyways, he will be going back into the pit lane, and that was the AlphaTauri of not Ole, but in fact Skirl, who must be on a hot lap. We're going to follow Ole now. The C begins his first hot lap session, is 2 attempts down and to be best first time, and Babarisha and both ABC in the 107s, around 8 thousandths separate them. But anyways, there's going to be a lesser margin for error, or a more margin for error for these drivers. Less margin for error even, because no, more margin for error. You can see my NPC mode coming straight into play then. And he's 4 times down on W Best in Sector 2. You can just see that first lap from W Best was absolutely amazing. And Dodge Demon can only set a 106.7 to try and match him. And that won't be good enough. But now, here we go then. For all as he rounds the final corner, it's going to be a 105.8. And it's only 8 hundredths or 1.2 tenths off of W Best. As we, I see Black Major, I'm pretty sure he's coming back into the pit lane. And that'll be the end to his qualifying session. Also, for Jani, there we go, he is now coming into the pit, and that'll be his last time in the race, or in the session. We'll see him in the race, and there we go, Black Major. Also coming into the pit lane, but those aren't the people we want to watch at this moment. The box is still in the pit lane, he doesn't need to go off till this. Remember, it is only Q1. Nothing too big needs to be done at the moment, and there's Waters on an out lap. Penguin on a hot lap, I think that is. Or he might just be starting one. Well, here we go then for Penguin. I think he is on a hot lap. Oh, he gets a bit slightly there, and he's on the mediums. He thinks he can get to Q2 on those medium compound tyres, and it's going to be a 105.6 for Penguin on the mediums. Faster than any other driver on the softs, and that's an absolutely stonking lap from the Alpine driver, and his team boss will be definitely happy about that. Damn, those inters are not fast yet. Oh no, Dodge Demon on a second out lap, on a second hot lap even, out of the session, and he didn't even need to go on that lap. He probably would have been safe without that. And Jani, there we go, retires in the pit lane, and I'm assuming Black Major will follow suit soon. Dodge this. This is Seth Martin now on another lap. Or I might use first lap actually. Let's see what he can do then. Can he beat Penguin on those mediums? It doesn't look likely at the moment, but it's going to be a 106.4 for Seth Martin. That's going to put him up into P7. He should be safe from Q1 at the moment. And Lepson thinks his 110 on the inters is going to be fast enough. And let's have a look at the weather forecast then. It is forecast to get less cloudy throughout the session, which is always heartwarming to know. And Darkness doing his lap on the inters. Les Waters on an invalid lap. I think he's setting himself up for another flying lap. So let's have a look. Here we go then for Les Waters. He rounds the final corner to get ready for his lap 2. And there we go then for Les Waters. He set a 105.1 in time trial, I think. 30 minutes, that will come race in the rain. Okay, that is interesting. It's going to be a wet race then, and drivers using inters. Hopefully they've got a fresh pair then. And here we go for Les Waters with DRS wide open. And Black Major interestingly out on another outlap. That could, the stewards may penalise that as another grid penalty for failure to serve a grid penalty. In the regulations, it does state that you can only do an in lap, but on the out lap, you have to come in on that very same lap. And he's went out again to go and do another out lap, which is obviously against the rules, and could be penalised for that as well. Anyways. Besides that, there's Waters now rounding the final corner. What's he going to get? As he gets to the DRS wide open, it's going to be a 106.0 for Les Waters. That's going to put him up into P6. And Gideon on the cusp of... he's on the cusp of being into the 105s. He's 11,000 off it, or 12,000 off it technically. And ABC sets a 105.9, and that'll drop Gideon and there's Waters down. Or was ABC just beginning the lap? That could be so. And Black Major sets a 105.6 on those softs. Only 4 thousandths off of Penguin. So Penguin definitely been pulling in some time into getting that perfect lap. And there we go, ABC's backed off of his lap. And Theo sets a 105.777. That's a lucky number. 777. He might want to go and I don't know, get another lap. He might get a P1. Hello, Wally. Hello. Welcome. And here we go then for Les Waters. Is he It's coming into the pit there now. Skirl, there's Skirl on a lap. He could be on a lap. Let's have a look. The Skirl in the AlphaTauri today. It is, I think he's not on a lap. He was 7 times down on that last lap. On that last lap. On the lap now. Same with Seth Martin. That's on now. Out on those soft compound tyres. Getting himself ready for the, oh. That is very, very interesting. Black Major has went into that lap. He's going to get a DM real quick. Oh. That is... He is went against regulations there. Majorly. Anyways, Black Major will most certainly be penalised for at the end. And the box sets at 104.9. Almost soft, and I'm sorry we didn't get to see that there. But Black Major does, in fact, set the fastest lap by over 7 tenths for the boxer. And now Black Major will see himself probably with another 20 place grid penalty post-race for failure to do that. And you see both of the McLaren drivers there. Darkness is on his outlap. And yeah, Black Major is going to be the big talking point of the weekend, I think. He is going to be starting from P15, maybe even P14. Depends on what Captain Smeck and Casper can both set. Same with Mageld, who are all in the pit lane and have not went to go outside their lap yet. But yeah, that is very interesting. And it's a 106.1 for Forza Game, and that puts him into P11. Had some issues this week regarding his account. Oh. There we go. Track feels slow according to Lepson. There will be no grip on the track as of yet. I mean, if you think of it, there's a bunch of straight, then you're going fast into corners. There's going to be a bit of time before any grip actually forms. You've got to get the most out of those tyres. You've got them in the right temperature before you start the lap. And also you've got to take into account that the track is not fully dry yet. Not dry, fully up to temperature, because it is a bit cloudy, which is blocking that sun from getting onto the tarmac. And Seth Martin now on another outlap is going to begin his potential final flying lap of the session. It could be, but he is using up a lot of fresh tyres here. But he is in P14, so it will make a difference if he does manage to get that lap in. Anyways, it will have Seth Martin. Now down the, is it the second DRS straight of the lap? I mean, it's the first one which he activates during the lap. And he's 3 times down on the box, but he won't care. That is probably good enough so far to get himself into Q2. If he does keep up that timing, it could be around a second off, which is going to put him up around P8, but Sector 1 too early to tell for now. And now Seth Martin going through Sector 2. This is probably the most technical and twisty part of this circuit, where you've got to use your downforce to the maximum, and he might have it optimised there, and he's a second down on the box in Sector 2, but it is a personal best for him. Could be on track to set a low 106. And here we go then, Seth Martin now rounding in the final couple of corners, now going past the final corner. Let's see, for Seth Martin, it's going to be a 106.1, and that's going to be P12 for him. He is in the danger zone though. 5 drivers behind him, all fighting for that position, or is it even 6 drivers? Could be all fighting for that position. It's Casper now. We're gonna he invalidated on the entry to his flying lap, and Mavarisha for 107.0 is giving his teammate a bit of a toll. She'll love to see, but Gideon isn't now lap, so won't be as effective. But yeah, Casper needs to go around again and set another lap. The block's retired from the session. He knows he doesn't have to set anything else. As Babarisha, did he spin there or no? It was Gideon. What happened to Gideon? And Gideon spun around. So that'll be him looking to get back on track. It's definitely struggling. Those tires are going to be steaming hot. As Skirl. Was that Skirl? No, it wasn't Skirl. Who set that lap? I'm sorry, I didn't see whoever set that lap. Oh, it might be in Darkness actually, who set a 105.4. Not fast enough to beat his teammate though. And Casper coming back into the pit lane then with P18 and his belt. Mageld still hasn't left the pit lane. Same with Captain Smek, hasn't left the pit lane yet. Is Captain Smek in the session? Let's have a look. Captain Smek. Make sure he's in the session just in case he isn't. He might be able to go and set a final lap. But yeah, 3 drivers still yet to set a lap who can set a lap if they want to. And that might give Babarisha entry into Q2, which might be the first time for him this season so far. And he will be buzzing if he can get into that. And it's a 106.5 for Babarisha. He made a 5/10 improvement. He's going to dive into the pit lane now and get himself nice and ready as Skirl and another fly on out lap. But let's follow Seth Martin, who is on near the end of his second flying lap, and he's just going to come up on traffic there. That was the AlphaTauri Skirl, who was on an out lap. He was getting ready for his hot lap, and here we go then for Seth Martin. He might actually give that AlphaTauri a bit of a tour into the turn 2. Potentially, but here we go then for Seth Martin. It's going to be a 105, 106 flat. That is very, very, it's a beautiful thing to lay eyes on. And that'll put him up into P10. Swiftly beaten by his teammate. Oh, was it? No, someone set a fast lap time. That might have been Gideon actually for 105.7. And he is well past the P14 or P13 he was holding them before. And Skirl on a green first sector, which will be nothing but smiles for him and Casper on an out lap. Captain Smek still hasn't left the pit lane. Mageld still hasn't left the pit lane. Actually, he might have left the pit lane, but Mageld, you can see him on the minimap below. Mageld is going to be starting his out lap, and actually it could be W Best or Mageld. Yeah, it is Mageld. And Captain Smek will not be able to get a lap in qualifying then. And that'll see Captain Smek out of Q1, not for the first time this season. Now here they go then. First Skirl, as he rounds to find a corner, it's going to be a 106.2 for him, and I don't think he managed to improve in that lap. And now he's a danger from Casper and Mageld, who have both proven themselves so far this season. And Mageld spins out, and he might not be able to get it to the line on time. And that's going to be very interesting for the end of this qualifying session. And here we go then. For Casper. I was going to say Captain Smek there. For Casper. As he rounds a final corner. And he's going to begin his one and only flying lap of this session. And it's going to be very tight for Mageld. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to the line on time with 16 seconds left on the clock. As he's just entering Sector 3 now. And here we go then for Casper. In Sector 1, let's see if he has more straight line speed than the other drivers, and it's going to be 800ths off of the fastest time in Sector 1 so far. The track's going to be ramped up in its best now, and Mageld didn't get round to the line in time, and I'm going to see him start from P20. And that'll be him out of Q1. Tim with Captain Smek both didn't set a lap time. Gianni served his grid penalty and Black Major. Interestingly didn't, but it's all on it's all on Casper now. If he makes any mistake or invalidates, he'll be out, and it's 6 times down. I think he's just taking a bit cautious. He knows he can make it through if he just puts in a semi-decent lap, and Penguins it's a 105.8 on some fresh softs. And that's him in P2 in Q1, and now here we go then for Casper. As he rounds the final corner, it's going to be a 105.5, and that's him into P4. The last person on track will be Les Waters. And he is going to be finishing up his lap as well. Now going into Sector 3. And now probably for the fastest one of the lap. Oh, he runs wide there and he gets Pistadi. He doesn't invalidate though, which means he's definitely lost quite a bit of time, and he gets Pistadi once again on the rear. And it's going to be a 106.3 for Les Waters. And I'll see him in P13 and put him into Q2. Okay, here we go then. So in Q1, the box is 10th ahead of Penguin, who is 3 tenths ahead of Darkness, who is 1.6 tenths ahead of Darkness. And the list just goes down and down and down. And the session will end in 7 seconds. And we'll get ready for Q2. Give me 1 second. Okay, right, it's actually a bit drier on the track now, which is always nice. You can see the messed up trees in the background. The session will start momentarily. It's going to be the start of Q2 in Austria. Wait for the first driver to go out on track, and Black Major obviously retires in the pit lane to follow in accordance to the grid penalty, but he will probably get another grid penalty from the stewards, because obviously failure to follow will just equal your penalty again. And that's a 5-place advantage you'll get, and in the long run, he'll be the only person affected by that. And now, the box, the first driver to exit the pit lane to start us off for Q2 then, which is interesting because he was one of the last people out last time around. And now the box. He is your championship leader. He can, if he wins today, he will knock anyone up to P5 out of the session. And not out of the session, out of the championship. So it's crucial that he wins here, and the box actually could win the championship as early as Spa. It all depends on how Gianni can perform today. If Gianni can keep it in the points, if he can get P2, then it's all going to be butterflies and rainbows for him. If Gianni fails to get it into P2, the box only has to win the next 2 races after this if he wins this one. And the championship will be his, which will be around 3 races until the end of the season. Gianni has to put on a great show to here, or the box must have an absolute stinker, or else he will be out of the championship, and so will everyone else. But I'd say around most of the drivers on the grid at the moment are out of that championship battle. And here we go then for the box, our championship leader, beginning his first flying lap of Q2 into turn 1. Takes as much curve as you like, and now he's going to get himself ready for the very long straight where it's like a little kink here, which is fast as a turn. I guess you are turning the wheel a little bit, but not the way anyone else would class it. And 16-1 for the box in sector 1. That's a bit down on this sector 1 time in Q1. Now with the DRS wide open, you can hear the revs chugging a bit there. Hope you like my voice impressions. And here we go then for the box. Round in that corner there, keeping it nice and tidy, where the Mercedes and the Red Bulls like to have a little collision quite a bit, and keeping it nice and tight with the apex, giving himself as much curb as he would like on entry, and he's just keeping it nice and tight with track limits, which you love to see. And he is down on his personal best time in sector 2, or that might just be the game. But here we go then for the box as he rounds the final corner. You can see him there. Now it's going to be 105.0 for the box, and that's a bit slower than his Q1 time, but it actually could be good enough for Q3. His Casper sets at 105.1 and W Best sets at 106.2, so you can sort of see the diff there of around a second between these two. No sound alert, new. What that means, dear Dizzy. If he sits at a 106.4, I think we're going to we're going to ride on board with Penguin, who has had a phenomenal qualifying session so far in Q1, put himself up into P2. And here we go then for Penguin as Theo sits at 114. Definitely will be going around on the track once again. And now we're in the fastest, but the most hardest places to keep it on the track. And he keeps it nice and tight with the white line there. And he sets a 105.5, and he's going to pull him up into P5, or P3 even, not P5. A lot of fives, and he took turn one there quite nicely. I'm not too sure what I just saw there. Oh, he was praised letting Gideon past. The first Ferrari driver did not make it out of Q1 alive. Now for Gideon, it's going to be a 106.9, and he'll have to go again. That could see him out of the session. We're going to see Theo as he is getting ready to begin his second flying lap, and his probably his official flying lap. Oh, and there's a McLaren and an AlphaTauri there who have both had a collision with each other, and it's not what you like to see. And he already backed out the lap before he starts it. Oh no, he was on a lap there, and it was a 106.3 for the Williams driver, and he will probably want to go again as well. I suppose again it's at a 105.9. And is ahead, or not ahead, he's behind his teammate by around 8/10 is the gap. Who else is on a lap? Ole is around the final corner, and let's see what Ole is going to get there. And it's going to be a 105.7, and that'll put him up into P4, knock Forza into P5. Gideon now into P10. Any four of these drivers here can knock any of the top 10 out. I'm going to watch those waters go on board with him. He's made vast improvements throughout the season so far, and he'll be hoping to get some good points for his team today and put them in the Constructors' Championship battle with the rest of the pack and his competitors. I'm pretty sure he could get himself up there in the battle with Haas and Mercedes if he can get some good points come the rest of the season. And he's 8/10 down on the box in Sector 2. But let's see what he can set overall on the lap as the box comes out for another out lap. And now there's Waters. Ooh. He has to slow the car down just a bit there, and he slows it down a bit too much, I would say, in the final corner there. But it's going to be a 106.3 for Les Waters, and that'll put him up into P8 and not Gideon out of the session provisionally. And Darkness, Lepson, and Seth Martin all on our afternoon with Seth Martin because he is the closest to beginning his flying lap. Here we go then. Seth Martin in the Haas. He's in P15 in the moment. He has to set a good lap to get himself into Q3. And for Seth Martin now running down the main straight, get himself prepared for turn 1. Doesn't take much of the green curb and takes a nice bit of curb into turn 1. If there was sim damage on, it could potentially be underflow damage if you run over that sausage curb. But now for Seth Martin, just finished turn 2, now get himself ready for turn 3. 3 times down on Theo in sector 1 and misses the apex there. I'm going to clip it as good as you might want to. This is the DRS wide open. It's a bit of a scrappy lap so far for the Haas driver, but will it be enough to get him into Q3? It possibly could be, as he only has a 106.5 to benchmark with. And now, for Seth Martin, finishing up sector 2. Let's see how far off he is off the box here. And it will be around 1.1 seconds. So if he loses around another 4 attempts in this final sector, it will not be good enough and he'll have to go again. And now for the Haas driver, he's going to round the final corner and tries to hook it up nicely there, and he does, and gets the DRS wide open, and it's going to be a 106.5, and that's not good enough. He will have to go again if he wants to get himself into Q3. I'm going to follow Darkness now, or actually we're going to follow Lepson, as he now just entering sector 3. Let's see how close he is to the box, and he's 8 attempts off there in sector 2, and he might have to go again as well. But now Lepson doesn't take much curb there, sets himself up nicely for the final turn, and he does so nicely. DRS wide open, and it's going to be a 105.9 for Lepson. That puts him up into P6, and now will knock Skirl out of the session. We know Darkness now as he's just finishing, just starting up his lap once again. He's been a good qualifier so far in the season. He hasn't kept it as clean in the races as he might have liked to, but he definitely can't fault him on his 1 lap pace. And now in sector 1 for Zion, it's going to be a 1 16.3, I think. And it's around 2 times off for fuel there. And now for Zion, his time might be in the next sector where he gets twisty and turny. But so far it is going to be good enough for him to get himself into Q3 if he can just hold up this lap and keep it nice and tidy. And now for Zion, as he gets rounding off the end of sector 2. Gets a bit slidey on the exit there, and that would have set him up quite badly, and he's 6 times off of the box. Definitely not in the place where he would want to be at this moment, and he might put himself up into P4, I think, at the moment, or could be P3. P4, P5. Oh no, he ends that very badly, and he would have lost quite a few times there. And now for DRS Open, it's going to be a 106.3 for Dogson. I'm going to put him on the cusp of P10, just by a few thousandths either way. And he will have to go again probably because ABC now on his outlap, same with Gideon on his outlap, both looking to get the improvements done. Yeah, Darkness will probably have to go again, but you got to remember, Darkness did use those tyres on his first lap where I think he either invalidated or backed out of the lap. So it is quite possible. And now ABC on the mediums, interestingly enough. There's also another interesting thing to know that this guy does race in VR. So everything you're going to see here is produced in the cockpit. And here we go then for ABC. Going into turn 1. Takes a nice bit of curb there, but gets a bit slidey on the exit out. Affects his lap time quite a bit. And now for ABC is Field sets a 105.7. That'll put him up into P4. ABC 4 attempts off the box in sector 1. Might have to go again. Although he is running out of time. The clock is ticking. 4 minutes 30 is this gap. And then he hits in the back of his teammate there. But obviously moves out of the way in time. Just getting the slipstream which his teammate might have been providing from there. And ABC once again looks like he's getting very sidey on those mediums. And he might pit onto the opposite end of this lap. We don't know. But it isn't looking to be hooking up from perfectly at the moment. And he is a second off in that lap and gets very slow through there. He will 100% have to get himself back out on some soft. And there you go, you can see him, he is coming into the pit lane at the end of the lap. And now we're going to watch Seth Martin, his teammate, just behind him on those fresh soft tyres, getting himself prepared for his second flying lap of the session. I might be third flying lap, I'm not too sure, but yeah, going up to Black Major, who did retire in the pits. That is set their time. And now Seth Martin in sector 1. Let's see how close he can get to the box. He's a 10th off in sector 1. And I think most of that comes down to either turn 1 or how much straight line speed you do have. And we are going to have a look at his top speed here then. And for a high speed circuit like Austria, barely getting in to the 200 miles an hour there, not even getting into it even, will see affect him quite a bit as he probably sets himself up for this part of the circuit more than he values that straight line speed. It will be a bit of a DRS train though, and he's 5 times off the box in sector 2. Will be good enough for Q3 at the moment though. If you can hook this one up, it will be P4 from, or P5. I'm going to predict it's around P6 even, because Ole and Field was so tightly mashed together on that pace. It's run 12,000 there's a gap. Now Seth Martin running off his lap. It's going to be a 105.795, and once again just making the split in between the AlphaTauri and the Williams driver. It's 3 thousandths off of Ole and only 9 thousandths off of Field. Now we're going to watch Forza Gamer as he begins his potential final flying lap of the session. There is 2 minutes left of the session, so if he does mess up he can back out and get himself up for a second lap. But this lap is crucial to Forza Gamer, as if 4 people do improve in his time, which is highly unlikely, he will be out. And oh, it doesn't hook it up nicely there, hits a bit off the sausage curb, and that's going to unsettle the car on the entry to the 3rd DRS straight of the lap. And he might back out, I'm not too sure though. But we're going to cut to Lepson, who is, he's either finishing or is he beginning his final or second final hot lap of the session. And here we go then for Lepson. He is on a hot lap, and it's going to be a 105.4, and that's going to put him up into P3. What a lap from him. And obviously, with this credit in the box, quite a bit here. But we are very interested in this midfield battle. As Zion now, on those mediums, thinks he can get through to Q3 on the mediums. How far is he going to be off the box in Sector 2? It's only 4 attempts, and that so far is going to be good enough for Q3 if you can hook it up nicely in the final sector. This is probably where your tyres will matter the most though, so it's going to be very, very tight between getting knocked out and getting into Q3. And into the final corner, he goes a bit ambitious there, but it's very nice for Zion, and it's going to be a 105.5, and that's going to see him into Q3 with the medium compound tyres, something which was tried by Penguin and was failed by Penguin, and the gap for P4 and P5 is only 1,000, and Penguin trying to get it to the finish line as soon as possible to begin his final flying lap of the session. Anyone going past the checkered flag now will be setting their final laps. I'm going to follow Penguin on this lap then, as doesn't really matter if he finishes or not. I'm pretty sure he will make it into Q3 regardless, but let's see if he can try and get into those 104 lap times. And rightly so, he is purple in Sector 1, 300ths ahead of the box, and so far it's setting up very nicely to get himself into Q3. Did run on the grass a bit on his out lap, which we didn't really see, but we've got to admire Lapton for his efforts there, and we've got to admire how close his midfield battle is, all the way from P4, P3 to P9 or even P11. There's around a 3/10 gap in between them all, and obviously there is less margin for error here, but it can be done. Oh no, Penguin does invalid it, and that'll be him. His session over. Darkness doesn't really need to set a lap. We're going to have a look at Forza Gamer. Is he going to cross the finish line? And it's going to be no improvement for Forza Gamer. That's going to be him out of Q2, and everyone else is going to be safe. And I wonder if they know that yet. ABC still on his lap. And let's see where he can get himself up to then. This is just really pride at the moment. I mean, I guess you're not going to be using these tyres again. He is 1.2 down. Theo finishing up his lap, and Darkness. Is he on a lap? I think he's just doing it for some good race practice, which is props to him. I don't think he would use those tyres in the race. He is up in Sector 1, which is just absolutely superb from him, and he would definitely be able to challenge the box here for pole position in Q3, and he's only 3 tenths down in Sector 2 on the medium tyres, and he does invalidate there, but he is going to finish off that lap for the pride and joy. And honestly, I'm all for it. And here we go then for Darkness. As he crosses the finish line, it's going to be 105.5. So he doesn't improve on the lap. He is down in Sector 3. But still, keeping them fairly consistent. And you'll love to see it. And now Theo crossing the finish line. He's going to finish up Q2 for us. And that will set us up nicely into Q3. It was a lovely little battle to get everyone into Q3 then. 4 drivers eliminated, 5 technically, but 1 should never have been there in the first place. And look at how tight this pack is. I mean, although it is a high-speed circuit, from P1 all the way to P12 is separated by less than a second, and that is going to be very interesting come the start of this race. And Darkness, you've got to remember, on those medium tyres, making it into Q3, absolutely outstanding that for him to be able to hold it up on those tyres. And it was definitely a bit of a risky move for him, but it did pay off. Skull, Gideon, Forza Gamer and Ole all out of Q2, but small margins it is, and W Best and Les Waters both getting the exact same time, and big congratulations to Les Waters making it into Q3. Once again, he is on a very good form, a good run of form at the moment, which we absolutely love to see. And here we go then. Getting ready for Q3, the final qualifying session. This will determine who starts on pole position. This is where the battle is going to begin. And this is where we are going to see the most action, hopefully. I mean, we have seen a bit of anticlimactic session so far, but here we go then for qualifying 3 in Austria. We'll see Penguin is first in the leaderboard, interestingly. So if the session just ended here, then it's going to be over. But it is going to rain during the main race, so it could be anyone's race still. I think it's going to really depend on who can pull the gap the furthest and utilise that DRS at the start of the race. And here we go then for Casper. He's going to be leaving the pit lane first and getting us ready for Q3. Casper Curtis is your Season 1 World Champion, everyone. That was recently announced. I mean, Season 1 did end quite a while ago, but we never really got an official announcement for who won. But Casper, definitely not a person to play with, or mess with even. and has proven himself time and time again. And with the recent announcement of F1 23, we also want to announce that we will be hosting a season in more than one season in F1 23. Obviously, we started this league a bit closer to the end of F1 22, but we'll be hosting multiple seasons there, and we'll be starting off with an 8-race calendar, including Las Vegas and Qatar, to begin us off in the F1 23 game. So if you haven't signed up and want to sign up for that, please join the Discord, !Discord. But anyways, enough with the plug-in. Get ready for Casper to begin his first flying lap of Q3, and this is going to be the benchmark for everyone to beat. And he'll be looking to put himself on provisional pole. He might need to run again though, because the track will evolve very, very fast. Everyone's trying to set their fastest times, putting the most pressure into the tyres as possible. Oh no, the timing screen is a bit broke there, and we're going to have to scrap that just for a bit. As we will cut to the halo hood. There we go. And we are also just going to get telemetry lap data. There we go, lap data. This is what we're going to have to follow with at the moment. But Casper with the DRS Open, we're going to see what he's going to get to then. He is going to get over 200 miles an hour. So you can see Seth Martin and Casper, there is a big difference in between what they have set for downforce. But let's see how we can maneuver it at the end of Sector 2 then. And we've seen 45s previously, and it's going to be a 45.3. That is fairly fast for what we've seen so far. And Casper now in Sector 3. It looks to be a very nice lap for him, and it's a good banker lap to get himself ready for this final lap. And that'll be where you see the most improvement from any driver so far. And he uses as much curb as he would possibly want there. And it's a 5.1 for Casper in his first lap there. I'm going to go to the box now as he rounds the final corner. It is going to be a 104.9 for the box, and Darkness sets a 105.3, 4 times off of his teammate. But the box takes provisional pole, and he is already into the 104s. So nobody else has seemed to replicate it at the moment. His Lepson sets a 5.7, and that is on the medium tyres, so that is a very good banker from him. 8 tenths off of our championship leader. Mr. B Best sets a 105.9 on those softs. He'll probably just want to run again. He is last of the runners at the moment. ABC and Les Waters both yet to go into the to come out the pit lane. Actually, both of them are coming out the pit lane now, and that won't be good for Penguin if he does catch up them on the lap, as they will have to back off from each other, so they do not come into each other's backs at the end of the lap down. Would be really sus. Well, and Penguin in turn 1, leaving absolutely no margin for error, taking as much of the track as humanly possible. And now Ron's turn 2, getting himself ready for turn 3, where it's a heavy braking zone uphill. And it's a 16.2 for Penguin in Sector 1. I don't think it's purple. The game does like to bug out quite a bit. But we cannot use a lap timer, and yeah, it is green for him. We can see that for the first bit. And here we go then for Penguin. Getting very, very fast up there. You love to see it. And there we go then. For Penguin now getting himself in Sector 2. Let's see how he takes this. How much curb does he take? Obviously, if you put your throttle down too much while you're on that curb, you will imminently spin out. And it's a 45.4 for Penguin in Sector 2. That is a 10th off of what Casper could say. He set himself up for a P3 lap timer at the moment. All depends what he can do in Sector 3. It could be the difference between P3 and P2, or maybe even provisional pole position. But for Penguin, he is a very fast driver, and he rounds the final corner down the main straight. It's going to be a 105.3, and that'll put him into P4. He's only a couple hundredths off of his McLaren rival in P3. But Darkness has been known to not have the best races, which does matter quite a bit. But hopefully his luck will change from today. Obviously he's a very proven fast driver on the grid. And let's just have a look at these gaps for one moment. P3 and P4 both separated by around 300ths of a second, as well as P6 and P5 separated by around 800ths, which is just lovely to see. Now ABC in Sector 3. Oh, that rhymed. That is sick. Anyways, ABC round in the final corner. I'm not too sure what this lap time's going to be. It could be a 105 or 106.0, and that put him into P8, last of the runners at the moment. And Seth Martin now coming out for a next lap, and it's going to be a 106.1 for Les Waters, and that put him just below ABC. Steph Martin still yet to run. Now Penguin getting himself into the pit lane. ABC finished his lap, Leswaters finished his lap. And now Steph Martin. Now, interestingly, if Steph Martin doesn't pit and everyone else behind him pits, 10% old soft stick probably could be faster. You know, you can have a look when you go on the menu, the MFD. It will show you which car, well, which tyre is fastest overall. And here we go then for Steph Martin, rounding the final corner, and will begin his first flying lap of Q3. He'll be looking to make it hopefully above the top 5, and he did get his first league race win in another league recently, so he'll be looking to run off that energy from before as he hooks up nicely into turn 1. Doesn't take as much curve as we've seen other people take, but that is okay. He has his own driving style, which everyone does have, and you can see he just doesn't manage to get enough speed there, and he's 2 times down on what the box could set in sector 1 without that second flying lap. And now for Steph Martin in sector 2, going down the third and final DRS straight of the lap. I mean, he will re-enable the DRS on the main straight at the beginning or at the end of his lap, but it is still the last most effective one, I guess you could say. Now Steph Martin in sector 2, has he managed to claw back some time? He's managed to claw back quite a bit of time. It's around 3 times the gap between the box and Steph Martin at the moment. It actually could be a bit more than that, since we were spectating Casper when he done his lap. And here we go, Steph Martin, the only driver on track, rounds the final corner. Everyone will be watching him, and it's going to be a 105.6, not only put him up into P5. That might be what he was looking for though. And there we go, we can see the the Aston Martin of Lepson, and we will quickly re-invite Budabai back into the session, or Barbarisha. He is known. Where is Barbarisha? Budabai, there we go. And we invited Budabai back to the session. Invite and request. So make sure you like back online. This game probably's crashed. Tends to happen quite a bit with this game, which you absolutely love to see. I'm actually hate to see it, but at the same time, sarcasm is key. Anyways, Lepson on those soft compound tires now. He will definitely go a lot faster. The difference between the softs and the mediums is quite significant when you match them up side by side. And now here we go for Lepson then, getting himself ready for his second flying lap of the session, but also could be his final lap of the session. As you see, most of the top 5, still actually all of the top 5 except from Steph Martin, all in the pit lane. And here we go for Lepson into turn 1. Sets himself up very nicely for turn 2, which is barely a turn at all, which have I mentioned that yet? Apparently. And Lepson now finishing up sector 1. It's going to be 2 times up in his time, or 2.5 times up in his time, and so far that's still going to hit a 105.5 for him. Obviously, still got 2 sectors to negotiate, and his setup might be more accustomed to the final 2 sectors compared to that first sector. Sector 2 at the beginning is definitely more based on speed, but you can get it upset nicely with the downforce. You can get a lot of time in these 2 corners here. It is all about high-speed corners in sector 2. And once again here, he's 6 times up in sector 2, and that's a 105.1 for him. He's setting himself up very nicely here for a potential provisional pole position. And for Lepson now, rounding the second final corner, and now getting ready for the final corner, rounds the final corner. And here we go then for Lepson. Is the provisional pole? I don't think it is. It's going to be a 104.994, and that put him up into P2. What a lap from him. Another box exiting the pit lane. Still untouched by anyone's times so far. Casper, Darkness, and Penguin all leaving the pit lane. And that'd be everyone out, or leaving the pits now. And Les Waters got disqualified for spinning in the near the pit lane. That's happened to me before. The game gives you absolutely no second chances. And yeah, he spun at turn 1. He is telling us about it now. The box. So let's have a look at the box. He is obviously going to be starting his final flying lap of the session. It's all going to come down to whatever he can say here, because I'm pretty sure Casper and Darkness are going to be looking to make mass improvements. And here we go then for the box. He's not going to be able to set another lap after this. He'll be getting his final flying lap of the session. And into turn 1, let's see how he takes it. Doesn't take as much curb as anyone else, but it sets him up nicely for the DRS straight. And now his foot down on the throttle, pedal to the metal. It's going to get himself ready for hard braking zone 3. And he's a 10 4 points lap time. He's looking very untouchable at the moment. Oh, he nearly spins there. That's going to lose him a couple hundredths. And it'll set him up very poorly for this straight, where he'll lose quite a bit more time. If he couldn't get his foot down the throttle as early, and he won't be able to get as much miles per hour in the car as he wants. Now for the box. Just manoeuvring through the tight right there. And oh, Lepson retires in the pit lane. Okay. That's all good for him. He doesn't think he can improve on the time. And actually, he won't be able to get back out and do another lap anyways. And it's going to be only a 10th up for the box in Sector 2. That mistake has cost him quite dearly. But it is still a very fast lap time. And Casper will be looking to get an improvement on it. As the clouds start coming out again, that track temperature will be dropping. That might be a bit of happiness. It might be quite happy for the other drivers. And there we go. The box has a 104.7. We're going to watch Casper now as he's on his final lap of the session. He is going to be the one who can beat the box if possible. Same with Darkness and Theo, all on their final flying laps now. And here we go then for Casper. Gets his foot down on the floor, and the DRS is now at his advantage. Oh, and the hats there of I was over Seth Martin or ABC has a little bit of the moment there. It's been the minute straight. Oh, Darkness has a 104.776, and that's going to take pole position away from the box. He's on provisional pole. But can Casper beat him? He's a 10th. He's 1.6 tenths up, and it doesn't look like it's going to be heading his way, but it might be good enough for P3. He's dropped down into P5. Here comes in the pit lane. He isn't able to improve on the lap. And here we go then for Casper. He's going to round the final penultimate corner, and now round the final corner. What's it going to be for Casper? Has he made the improvement? Is he going to be able to do it? It's going to be a 104.9. That's going to put him up into P4. And it's going to be a 10th off of Penguin, who set another lap. We didn't get to see that. And that is a very, very tight top 3. If you count the top 4 and the top 5 even, it's separated by around 2 tenths. I'm going to try to get Butterby back into the session. I see that DM from him just before it cuts off to the thing. And it doesn't finger. Okay. Where's Butterby? It doesn't let me. It doesn't say he's online. Oh no. But anyways, it's a 1-2 for the McLarens, and Darkness once again takes pole position. Can he convert it this time though? He's definitely not the best there. He doesn't have the best race pace at the moment, but is it going to be different this time? Darkness has definitely set himself up for a very promising start to this race already. Butterby once again, I can't invite him. Yeah. This time I restart again. I love this game so much. I play this game, and my brother tells me to keep it down because it's late as night when I play. There we go. You can see Darkness is fastest there. It's just, oh, there's barely anything there. And there you go. You can see the gap. It's 5 thousandths between pole and second. The box will be absolutely just, it'll be very, very sad with that. Same with Penguin. Imagine if the box didn't make that slight mistake in Sector 2, at the start of Sector 2, that pole position would have most certainly been his. And the session will begin in just 20 seconds. Oh, no. We'll start in 30 seconds. That should give me enough time to invite Butterby to the session before it begins. But there will be 20 drivers on the grid for the start of this race. It'll be like the 4th race running now, where we've had a full grid altogether. And it is something we love to see in this league. It's been a fantastic job from everyone involved so far this season, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone when I'm saying this has been a great season, even though it has been mainly dominated by the box. The box has definitely brought some interesting racing to the league, which we definitely needed, and we've got to say we appreciate everyone on the grid. But now, as we get ready for the main event, the current champion, the box, not the current champion, the current man in P1 in the standings of the box, will be starting from P2, as here we go, the lights are going now, and it's 5 red lights, 2 McLarens at the start on P1 and P2, and here we go, it's lights out and away we go. Darkness gets a decent start, the box will be trying to challenge him into turn 1, won't be able to do it though, gets a full car length ahead, and Penguin now trying to challenge the box into turn 1, nearly loses out, and that pushes that's on off the track a bit, and he spins out, and he's nearly into the pit lane, he wants to get out there, it should be possible, and Casper down into P16, Johnny in P19 challenging with the, oh no, it's a virtual safety car, and Johnny will go into P18, that's very lucky for the laps on and not to get DSQ'd there. It's a very interesting scenario, but instantly we'll get a VSC. Nobody loses the way, I don't think. It is all clean from everyone down here so far, and yeah, I'm pretty sure the VSC will be ending in just a second. As we see the cars now starting to speed up. Too bad spectators don't get the information on that, but Darkness, yeah, just he managed to maintain the lead out of turn 1, and that'd be a relief to him. The box will be charging him down though, but we'll want to get an interesting view on this rev and this weather. It will start to rain in 30 minutes time, so around 6 laps to go. That could be the difference between someone pitting and not pitting and getting the position. And here we go then for Darkness in the box. They wouldn't be restarting the VSC, as I think surely it restarts now. Oh, Barbarisha spins out. He got back into the session, and there we go. The green flag run once again. The box has managed to catch Darkness a little bit then and be running the slipstream, but 7/10 is the gap between them two, and the Darkness has absolutely perfected that. And the box is on those hard tyres, so Darkness will get the run altogether, and Forza gets a 5/10 how many for speed in the pit lane. Gianni also has to come into the pit lane. It's not been the best off for him, and it's definitely not what he wanted in his championship battle. It's slipping away from him definitely, and there we go. He's getting a fresh wing on. Same with Forza Gamer and also Dodge Demon. All had collisions on that first lap. And now the box, once again, just charging up to Darkness. He's going to be following in that slipstream nice and tight. And Black Major and Les Waters, both side by side. Who's going to be coming out on top? Black Major started the race in P15, is now up into P8, gets a move done on Les Waters. What a move it was from him. And Barbarisha now up into P15. Magelda hasn't had the best start either. Didn't manage to get a lap done in quali, which was valid. And Captain Smek also didn't get that valid lap in either. He didn't even leave the pit, I don't think. But now the race has already settled off quite a bit, and we'll be looking forward to when this DRS gets enabled at the start of this lap. And there we go, DRS now enabled, and the box will get its first helping of DRS out of turn 1 here, as Penguin's already dropped out of a second, so the battle is really with these McLaren drivers. The Darkness will be pulling along the box here, and he's unable to escape his wrath. He's held it up quite nicely at the moment though, and there we go, the box has gained quite a bit. And he's going to maximise his exit there. But he will be running in the dirt, yeah, we've got to remember that. So, here we go then, for these two. The box, yeah, just gets a few kilometres faster there. But ultimately, will not be able to catch up to Darkness as much as he did in that first sector. Seth Martin and Black Major both side by side, fighting for the position then. Black Major around the outside has to cut behind Seth Martin and try to get the move done at the next available overtaking opportunities. Gideon and Skull both fighting for P9. There's Waters also in P11, very close behind as Casper. No, Casper spins out. Casper's had a horrible start to this race then, and he's already run down in P14. I mean, doing too good. He loses out to Barbarisha then. Barbarisha running in P14. Great stuff from him. There's Waters now trying to get in on the path. There's Ole and Theo both challenging into turn 1. They are championship rivals, and now Theo with the DRS on Ole is going to get side by side. He's going to try to take the inside line there for turn 3, and Ole manages just stay ahead. Theo actually didn't get the DRS, but he will get the DRS now. Nearly touches into the back of Ole as Black Major makes his way up into P7. He's not going to challenge with Theo. Theo gets a bad exit, and now Black Major with the DRS and the slipstream might be able to get onto Theo. This is helping Ole pull away. But Theo will have more straight line speed and will be able to just get that move sealed or defended. But Black Major with the better exit, with the better tyres down the inside, he's going to go on Theo. Theo's going to try to give him the big old squeeze. But lovely side by side pattern there. And now Black Major with the inside line once again is going to get that move done on Theo. And Theo will try to cut back, and Dodge Demon already out of the session. He has had a collision with the Ferrari driver of Magelda, and there will be a full course safety car out then. And yeah, he has lost his wing. Oh, and he what is Magelda doing? What on earth is this guy doing? Very interesting from him. Very interesting indeed. And that's going to allow Gianni to just get ahead. Oh, Gianni gets a drive-through penalty as race gets even worse. But that safety car would have helped him quite a bit, and he's already pitted. And that might set him up perfectly for the run onto the wet tyres then. And yeah, Magelda needs to maneuver his way back into the... Oh, what the hell just happened there? Oh my god! What on earth has just happened there? Oh my days! What on earth have we just seen? Codemasters? Why did Magelda just... And Captain Spec gets to drive through penalty, but most importantly here, why did Magelda teleport under the track? That is very interesting indeed. Now as Magelda is going to get a fresh wing on, and doesn't get any better with the with whatever pit stop scene that was. But yeah, very interesting indeed. But Darkness, interesting to know, will have to box at some point. The box doesn't have to box, because when that wet does come, the pit requirement will just fizzle away. But yeah, Magelda under the map. Hate to see it, but there's a common occurrence from Bugmasters. Anyways, this is the box. Penguin, W Best, and all this shot of getting the run on Darkness once the safety car does restart, and we do get under green flag running once again. But I don't think the safety car will be ending anytime soon. Is that Gianni? Gianni is... he had pitted. And Magelda once again spins out. We've got to question what is happening with the Ferrari driver here. Spins out once again. Yeah. Very interesting. Gianni once again comes into the pit lane. What is he going to get on now? He's going to get on the soft tyres. So this rain might be coming a bit sooner than we thought. It is 15 minutes until the rain. But there is a 31% chance of it happening in the next 10 minutes. So these softs will have to hold up for Gianni, and he's about to get lapped by the safety car, which means he wants to catch up as soon as possible. Now, what on earth is happening to Magelda? Oh, that was a gamer who spins out. Went a bit too fast there, trying to catch up to the safety car. But, yeah, very interesting from Magelda. And whoa, what on earth has just happened with Bugmasters there? What on earth has just happened? Okay. That has just happened. And... yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Magelda, once again, will have to come into the pit lane, and I think if that does happen again, we will have to call for a red flag. Yeah. Anyways, for Darkness now. In P1, you can see those storm clouds are lingering quite a bit. And here we go then. For Darkness. Safety car will stay out another lap. Interesting to mention. Oh my, he's spun under the map again. Okay. This is the first time we're calling that. We're calling red flag, everyone, Ritashi. Let's just quickly get these, let's get this here. Okay, We are now calling for a red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Yes, red flag. We are calling for the red flag. The red flag has came out. Red flag. Red flag. Do. Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah, red flag, everyone. Red flag. Invite. Or okay, we're gonna remake the lobby. It was gonna rain, so we are gonna set it to rain during the session. But as for how we're gonna run this race, I think the only way we can do it is the race was 36 laps, and we've only got 7 laps in, or 6 laps in even before the red flag did call. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna run for 50. We're gonna run 50% of the game. We're not gonna do the entire race. We're gonna do 30 laps. So I'll discuss that in a second. Yeah. Basically, if anyone wants to know what was happening, some guy was teleporting under the map and he was extremely laggy and it was causing the safety car to stay out quite a bit longer than it should have, and it was definitely a bugged lobby. So yeah.
Might it not be just him, Jake?
What?
Might it not be just him?
It was when he did TP back onto the track or whatever, it was like stopped on track, so we're gonna have to do that next race and be excluding him from the session.
He didn't even do a quali lap and he blocked me in AI. He was out on the last lap in AI. I don't know, man. Like, might be his internet. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll anyways, everyone will get invited back to the lobby, but I've got the standings as they were before the thing. Anyone who DNF'd and Magelda will not be able to rejoin the session. So, anyways, invites will be sent out once again.
Jake, can you check the clip here while I put it into the
I cannot check it. I cannot check it.
And the chat, bro. His internet was so bad apparently. When he was in AI.
Wait, Dodge, I'm have to pull you out of VC because you are not in the thing. Anyone? This is just for people who are in the race at the moment. What was it? Gamer, okay. Yeah, we'll just get the invites out once again, but
Hurry, guys. Quali is in an hour, 50 minutes.
I mean, the race should be done by then. But we are going to start the race on the inters, and then it's going to go. Was it inters until the end of the session?
No, it was full wet and then to inters. What I saw. Like.
Full wet to inters. Okay, that's we're going to run that then. Full wet to inters.
Like minimum rain, a lot of rain, minimum rain was what I saw. Like what's gonna happen?
Okay, we can do that.
What's happened?
Red flag. Red flag.
Oh.
We'll get an invite out to everyone. Everyone just join the session once you got the invite.
I have time for another fucking race. Like.
It's going to be run a bit differently, so we're going to make sure everything is run properly.
I don't think you can end it on lap 30, Jake.
No, we're just going to do it so however the standings were at the end of lap 30, that's how the race is going to end.
You're the boss.
Cool. Then we invite the box back. Oh, actually, I can already invite the box.
Invite me.
Yeah, he was also flying on my screen, Jake. Like,
yeah,
flying.
Yeah, flying. Airplane.
Like, yeah, like.
Are you gonna do a full 50% race again?
Jake, he didn't have downforce, he had upforce.
We cannot do 25% because 25% wouldn't cover 30 laps. That's all that in chat, right? Who else needs an invite? We've got 7 people in, 8 people in out.
I
11.
need
Oh, Captain Smith. Okay, I'll invite you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be through Steam though.
I'm gonna leave because I can't. I don't have time.
So
Does that mean I can take his spot on the grid?
Seth,
Because I
the
mean, it's
race
only one
should
place
fit.
up.
Only the
both
people who were in
houses.
before Seth, the race should just finish under the normal time.
Okay. Well, if it's that's. Okay.
Yes, yeah, we've got 6 more people to join, 5 more people to join. Who else needs the invite? Theo needs an invite. But yeah, to everyone here, it will run as so basically how it's gonna run is we're gonna do 29 laps. That is what it's gonna be because it was on lap 6. So yeah. The lap 29 is going to be the final lap, and then once you cross the line for lap 30, that's the race over. Okay?
do you just leave the session then, or?
Yeah, I'll just get everything saved as it was. Who else needs the invite?
No, you just
Yeah,
say,
like,
Mag, you
Jake,
sneaky
like
bugger.
everybody can now choose a wet setup. You know that, right?
Since I mean, there's no real way to regulate it. Since red flags aren't in the game, there's no way we can really regulate it. But
But next game has red flags.
yeah, I'm just making sure everyone's in. We need 3 more people in.
Yeah.
Both McLarens are in. Both Alpines are in.
What's it like work?
Oh no, they should. Yeah, 18. AlphaTauri, who's the second AlphaTauri driver? Skirl. Skirl here. That's Skirl. Right, we need to invite Skirl. And then, Babarisha, that's the last person.
I need an invite.
Wait, who needs an invite?
Miel.
Job.
Majel, you had really bad connection. That's the reason the red flag. We're going to have to exclude you from the session, sorry. If you have a look on the stream after the VOD, you were flying everywhere. So we can't let you back in the session, sorry.
Jake, I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna have to eventually do something anyway. So
Okay.
I'll have to miss this one.
Can I take his place then?
Good luck to the rest of these.
Why not? We're both husses. No one know the difference.
ABC, you were already in? You're already in the session.
I am, yeah.
Okay, right. Babarisha and... Who else was it? Skirl. Babarisha and Skirl. I don't think they know the session's actually been red flag. Okay.
It's
Are they
unlucky.
still in the other race?
It's unlucky that we got a real quali in 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Without a
Good.
flying car.
Maybe Max will fly
Yeah.
over the circuit. Okay.
Bro had more up force than down force.
Yeah, he just had some wind under his wing.
Mm. He had
I
some.
saw-
He had some external wings.
I never saw this. Like this was. It looks like it was hacked or something. What? I saw him legit flying in turn 3 over our car.
No, I was talking with him, and he suddenly got put into neutral and stopped on track.
I'm going to call Babarisha, make sure he's in the session.
This bad. Trust me. Nah.
Babarisha, we need it. Who disconnected? I'll invite you back.
We
It
are with
wasn't me.
50.
Blackmail, no, it
Yeah.
wasn't Blackmail, yeah. Whoever disconnected, let me know.
You got the. Is it custom race of like
Yeah,
with the order as well? Like it's gonna take some time.
I need to, like, get everyone in here first. Okay. If Babarisha doesn't join when we're doing the thing, then you'll get just excluded from the session. Why can't I find where I said it? Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah. Was it Williams driver who disconnected? No, it wasn't. It was Skull who disconnected. Skull disconnected. Okay. I read about Skull. Oh, Skull went offline. Okay. Right, you know what? We'll do the grid like this. The other 3 people. They're lost, I guess. Okay. Grid editor. So we'll had Darkness in P1. The box in P2. England P3. Be best P4 or the P5.
I think I
Major
was
piece.
P1.
Can we vote to the start grid, please?
Uh,
Oh my god.
Gideon. And we've got there's Waters. Oh wait, it's Skull here. Oh, Babarisha's here. Okay, Babarisha's here. Casper.
We know it's 16. We should be good, I think.
Yeah. Babarisha, Smek,
I'm here.
Lepson, ABC, Forza, and Johnny. Okay. We'll give Skull like a couple seconds just in case. Just in case anything did happen.
So last lap is 28.
Last lap
29.
is last lap's 29, yeah.
So
And
when,
then when you cross the line for 30,
into 30, you're done.
yeah, don't
Okay.
ready up yet though, because I need to.
But don't retire. Nah, it doesn't matter, by the way. Jake sees the standings, but don't retire if you go over the finish line. Like, then you will go put back on the grid, right? Or not? Jake?
What?
What if you go on to lap 30? Just
Oh,
Okay.
then you can push it in the wall, by the way. Like, doesn't matter.
I go straight into turn 1. Maybe Ransom 1 as well, because the race is over.
Oh, Skull is back online, I think. Oh no, he isn't. Okay, right, everyone ready up. Remember, the last lap is lap 30.
Yes.
No, last lap is lap 29, okay? Once you cross the line for 30, the race is over. And that's how
Yes.
we're going to determine it, okay? I'll make sure it's all in check so you don't have to worry about anything. Right, okay. The race will start wet. I'm going to allow you to change your setup because there's no way to regulate it, but yeah, okay, right. Go bash your team BCs. Have a good race. Okay, that is frustrating to say the least, but here we go. Let's see if the intro works this time. Damn, it doesn't work. Okay. We'll go back to the stream screen then. Okay, there we go. We're gonna start with a wet race. Wet race? I always get wet race wrong for some reason. Well, yeah. There's 2 drivers who left us. Skull wasn't in the session and yeah. Skull must have disconnected and then Seth Martin had a goal. So that's them 2 out of the session. Then Majeld obviously was very lucky, so had to get left from the had to get removed from the session. And then in 20th was Dodge Demon, who did DNF. So wait, actually did get crashed out early on in the race, and he won't be able to continue. We're just waiting for the players to get connected to the lobby now, and then we'll get ready for the second part of this race. And obviously the rain has came to us now. We're going to simulate this as it was 10 minutes after the red flag situation. And then we got back under green flags. But it will be wet until the finish now. It's going to be wet to very wet and then back down to wet. The race finishes on lap 30. Well, yeah, the race technically finishes at the start of lap 30. So here we go then, as we get ready for the second restart of this race. And it's 5 red lights. and it's lights out, and away we go. Darkness gets a decent start, but the box this time doesn't get the start which he wants, so he isn't the best in the wet, and he's down into, but he's already stays into P2, and W Best and Black Major side by side into turn 1. W Best trying to get the move done, he spins off, oh no, him and Black Major both have a collision, and that drops him down out of the point. Now Captain Smek already running up into P6 and Phil into P5, challenging Ole into turn 3. He's going to have the inside line, and it's already carnage on this race restart as the Aston Martin runs wide there, and now Theo and Ole once again fighting side by side, all have the wet setups on, and now Theo gets just a wheel ahead of Penguin, Ole, and is now once again side by side. Penguin, the box and Darkness fighting for P1. Oh my days, the box down the inside, he's going to try to go for the move on his teammate. Well, that's Darkness who we're watching, down the inside of his teammate, can't get the move done, and the box takes P1. Penguin now going to try to challenge the box. Oh, he taps the rear of Darkness, and Darkness spins out. That is, he's been putting her at the back there, and that's not his fault. He's nearly out of the points already, he is out of the points, and that's a terrible restart it's been for him. But it's been action from the start to the finish of that lap, and the box already a second ahead, extending this gap majorly as Theo drops back of Ole now. Ole managed to clear him, and Ole now challenging for P2. You can say he's a bit of a specialist in the wet conditions. Bajani's made his way up into P9 already. He's enjoyed this restart so far. Yeah, this is carnage all over. Leps on him as well. It's both fighting for position. I think they are going to play the team game there. They are definitely the two people who have played the team game this season so far. As Gideon must have had a little moment there, because now he's side by side with ABC. Going into turn 3, exiting turn 3. It looks like, oh, Black Major also trying to get the run on the Haas driver. He gets pushed off the track a little bit, and he'll have to back off there. And that allows Gideon to go side by side with Black Major, who's trying to work his way back up through the field. And oh, he's being boxed in a bit there by ABC, and that's going to allow Black Major to get the move done on both of them. What a move from Black Major. And now the Haas, not the Haas, the McLaren of Darkness challenging Gideon. Tries to get the move done and has to go a bit late down the outside, and Casper now spins out into P10, and Darkness tries to go off the track to get the move done. Casper, who was trying to get himself back up to racing speed, and now for Darkness down the inside of Casper is going to try and get the move done, and that pushes Casper off the track, and Darkness also off the track as well. And now Casper gets further ahead, and Darkness has dropped the position. This Forza game is looking to get his nose in there and try and get the move done on Darkness, but we don't see this ring going anywhere anytime soon, and it's only going to get heavier, so maybe getting the position now will matter quite a bit. Ollie, you've missed out on quite a lot. There was a red flag at the on lap 6, and now the race will be finishing on lap 30. And here we go at the box, already a second ahead, already managed to clear his competitor in P2 with Penguin, and this has been great so far for the box, but also Jani is putting a great run in here from running in P18 or P17, or yeah, no, it was P18 off before the red flag. There was someone glitching all over the place, so we had to get them out of the session, and then Seth Martin had to leave, and Skrull never showed up to the session, so we dropped 2 drivers there, but it is all good. And now here we go then for Darkness, who is trying to get in on the action of Gideon and Casper. Gideon down the inside of Casper gets a full call of the head before the turn there. Now Casper looking to maximise his exit. Obviously this isn't the position Casper wanted to be running in, but it is what he has to deal with at the moment. And now for Casper, he's going to be in the slipstream of Gideon. He's actually going to try to go for the overtake here. Gideon takes the defensive inside line, and he cuts back onto the racing line. A bit moving under braking maybe. But Casper with the better exit is now going to get the outside line on Gideon, and Gideon with the more straight line speed is just going to get it further ahead, and now that brings Darkness in the equation, who might try to go for a late lunge on to the Red Bull driver. Doesn't. He's boxed in a bit, which has allowed Casper to get the move back on him, and now Darkness is back running in P12, but a 3-car battle here for P10. The last point position is very tight as Casper now using it all. He's trying to get into the oh no, he actually pulls out to the inside of Gideon and try to get the move done. He does have more downforce, so this part of the circuit will be his best overtaking opportunity. Now for the outside line, he's going to try and get the move done. He touches Gideon there, and that's going to allow Darkness to try to get in the action once again. He has to eke off the throttle there just a little bit, and now Casper, he's desperate to get this move done in the slipstream, gets a better exit. He's going to go for the outside line, and Gideon with more straight line speed just gets the move done. Black Major and that's on. Black Major gets his way back up into P5 and he's going to be challenging now the Williams driver of Field, also one of his championship rivals. These three, this race will be crucial for them to determine who gets P3 in this championship. Ole is leading it by around 10 points, I think. And this is going to be great for him. It's also going to be great for him if he wants to catch Gianni, who is in P6 at the back of this battle. And he is gaining quite fast on Black Major, both working their way through the field together. And Gianni just trying to find the best line to get the optimal amount of grip. As Darkness and Casper, 3 brisks there, as Darkness manages to be ahead of both of them and gets himself up into P10. Casper also getting ahead of Gideon, and Gideon now running in P12. Casper now on the outside of Darkness is unable to get it done, and now Casper going to try to set himself up perfectly for the exit here. Oh no, Darkness disconnected from the session, and that's going to make Darkness give a position to Gideon as well, and that might allow Les Waters to get position on him. We're going to have to invite Darkness back to the session as soon as possible for him to continue his battle, and there we go, we invited him. But that's super unfortunate for the McLaren driver. If his AI can keep up with these two, it will probably be a miracle for him. As now ABC is also running on to Captain Smek. A lot of drivers very, very close off of each other here. And Black Major sets a 1:13.6. He's the fastest man on track at the moment, and has already dropped out. Has already gained 1.2 seconds on Gianni since the last lap. And that's going to be great for him. And here we go then for Gianni. He is definitely going to be looking to get a P2 finish today. I think finishing in P6 will be detrimental to his championship battle. And who's that? Who spun out? Penguin spins out and he loses his wing. Oh no, he didn't lose his wing. He nearly loses it, and Darkness is back in the session. Darkness 9 tenths off now with Gideon and Casper's managed to pull away from Gideon and is now challenging for Penguin, who just spun out. So you can definitely see Casper has a lot of pace here and is looking to utilise that. As the rain will be getting heavy very shortly. Let's have a look then. The stormy weather will be getting in the next 5 minutes. There's only 24 laps after this race, remember that. And here we go then for Casper. Down the inside of Penguin. Tries to get the move done there. And he does get it done as Penguin now has a relinquished position. That spin has cost him very, very much. But Penguin just has so much more straight line speed. And that sets him up badly for that turn there. A bit too ambitious, if I do say so myself. Suppose again we have to free him time, and he left on now coming into the pit, and he thinks it's time for those full wet tyres. Let's have a look then. Obviously every driver knows that these conditions will be getting to the full wet. And here we go then. Oh no, it goes on to some fresh inters. Doesn't, interestingly, get a fresh wing on, and I think he might have intended for those full wets to come on. And that has definitely hindered his progress. And he was running great in the points, but that strategy call there from the Aston Martin team has cost him quite a bit. It's not Black Major. He managed to catch up to Ole. Black Major has so much pace on this wet setup, and is now going to try to go down the outside of Ole, and is now challenging for that P2. He's managed to get ahead of Theo as well in the meantime, and this would be great for him and Theo's battle in the championship. He's going to try to take that last podium position, and will he be able to do it? Not even last podium position, the second podium position, and is unable to do so at the moment. But let's have a look at these gains then with Black Major. It is over a second on that last lap, and 4 times the gap is on this lap, and Theo now get himself into the action. He's been held up quite a bit here by Black Major, not by Black Major, by Ole. Now he's side by side with Ole. Has more straight line speed, I'm pretty sure. And here we go then for Black Major. He's going to go down the inside of Ole into turn 3, and he's going to get the braking zone absolutely spot on there, and that's going to allow him to get ahead of Ole. And now it's going to give Theo the perfect run on Ole. This is going to be great for Theo's battle against Ole, but his real rival is Black Major, who is just over there, and this track is not getting any better in the touch wheels there. But Ole managed to go down the inside and defend the position from Theo. Now Theo has to sit behind, and he's going to try to go for a late move down the inside there. And that's bringing Gianni into the equation. This is what Gianni wants. Gianni needs this if he wants any chance at that P2. But Black Major, quite importantly now, is making a massive, pulling a massive gap between him and Ole, and is now trying to get a challenge on with the box. But let's see, is any of them going to come into the pit lane? Ole spins out, it might be his time to come into the pit lane. He does touch with Fielder, and does he continue or does he go into the pits? He's going to continue on, and he doesn't think that track is getting any, that track isn't time for the wet, but you can see on this graphics, it is getting much wetter, and then we're Penguin and Gideon both pulling into the pit lane now. Vibration stays out, Darkness stays out, WBest stays out, Forza stays out, ABC on the full wets now. Let's see what he can do on the other two drivers. As well as on the inters, might be considering boxed on those full wets. He is. Lepton on the full wet. Although he had that strategy blunder before, it is definitely working out for him a bit more now. And Gideon, Penguin, and as well as all in the pit lane, getting those wet tyres on, and they might make significant gains over the rest of the field. Everyone will be looking to see though what the time difference will be between all of them. Now Gideon comes out 6 seconds behind of ABC, who is on the full wet as well. ABC, if he can hook this up perfectly here, might be another shot at the podium positions if he can maximise this. But the box has free reign over strategy choice here. He is losing out to Black Major, and he is staying out on the track. Will Black Major come into the pit lane? If he can get this right, he might be able to take P1 off the box, and he does stay out. He doesn't think it's time yet. Same with Theo. Does Johnny? Johnny doesn't come out. Does Captain Smith come into the pit lane? Let's have a look then. He doesn't. Casper on his tail doesn't go on the pit lane either. Ori now in the pit lane. Fabrizio coming into the pit lane. Darkness coming into the pit lane. WBest coming into the pit lane. Everyone behind the front runners are coming into the pit lane. And this could be very, very significant in this race. And Forza Gamer doesn't come in the pit lane, staying out on those inters. And is it time yet though? We haven't seen much yet. We need to wait for those wet tyres to get up to the optimal range. And Ole comes into the pit lane as well. Is now exiting the pit. Let's have a look at the last lap between ABC and Forza. ABC might, oh no, ABC has set a lap, but it doesn't. Okay, there we go. ABC gained 7 tenths on that last lap. I think it might be time for those full wets to come into play, and Casper gets a move done on like Captain Smith, and Captain Smith dropping off now, and here we go. Doctors and Babarisha both fighting for position. Babarisha runs a bit wide, then he runs into Penguin, and that pushes Penguin up the track, and Penguin spins out trying to straighten himself up there, and that's going to drop him to the back of the runners there. And both Aston Martin drivers running at the very back, and there we go. The box finally came into the pit lane. Same with Black Major. Theo into the pit lane. Johnny into the pit lane. Will Casper come into the pit lane? Surely he does. It is definitely time for those full wets. Captain Smith coming into the pit lane as well. Forza, the last driver to try get out on those inters. Oh no, full wets. He's the only driver left on the track running on those inters as well. And here we go then for Forza Gamer coming into the pit lane. Now it's interesting to see who will jump who. Theo manages to get the jump on Johnny and Captain Spec, who both hold each other up in the pit lane, I think. As Theo comes out in P3, Black Major out in P2. Black Major has a disconnection and we'll have to invite him back as soon as possible. We want to see here for ABC, he managed to maneuver himself back up into P6. Ole now running in P7. Ole had very good pace on those inters, and now it's time into the full wet. Let's have a look. And oh no, Black Major's had a Bugmasters. Oh no, this is horrible. Black Major disconnected and his race is pretty much over now. Unless he can get back in before the before he drops all the positions possible. Well, that's horrible for Black Major. He was running in such a good position, and the game has decided to mess him over once again. And I think it's quite telling to show that that's just the state of the game at the moment. And now Gianni, very much importantly, is running himself into P3 now, and he's catching Theo. This is definitely what he wanted. Starting the race from last is definitely putting dents in, which he really wanted to do. If he can get this second place, that championship battle is still very much on. But it is very logical that it might be ending shortly. And Forza Game didn't pit last lap. He's coming into the pit lane now. And we'll get those in full wets on. There we go. I don't think he thought it was a time yet, but is everyone else around him on those full wets? Does happen to be. And there we go. Black Major once again. So unfortunate for him, as the box is now extended his gap to over 10 seconds. And Johnny is actually losing a bit of time to Theo, and Theo running in P2. Not his first time running there. He's doing fairly well for himself. Now there's Waters. Penguin actually spun again. Now Lepson coming into the pit lane. Let's see what it's going to be for Lepson. Oh, Lepson spins a bit there. And here we go for Lepson. Yeah. Stopping a bit there. Yeah. Interesting. That's what I'm saying here. Let's have a look at what Lepson's going to go on to then. Gonna be some fresh wets for him. Here we go then, back onto the track. I'm not too sure what happened to his old wet. He might have had a flat spot maybe. And now Gianni's gained a bit more time on to Theo, and Captain Smek and Ole both fighting for the position. Oh, Casper actually on the rear of Captain Smek there. We didn't see that a moment ago. And Casper still on those intermediate tyres. So he's going to try and wait out this full wet period. But wow. That is quite significant. And he's still gaining on Captain Smek. Casper Curtis with the interesting strategy option goes down the inside on Captain Smek. And will he get the move done? If he can keep it up like he is right now, it will most certainly be a P1, provisional P1 for the man in the Mercedes. But wow, what a showing has been from Casper to keep the battle on with Captain Smek on those inters. The track is definitely in those full wet conditions. And oh, nearly spins out there. He doesn't want to spin out. That'll definitely put him out of any contention whatsoever. It's a very risky move for Casper, and once again, he just managed to get it done. Captain Smek might be able to gain that time back. He knows he shouldn't really battle with Casper, because if he does have those inters on, that'd be horrible for his race. As Casper and Captain Smek both run a bit wide there. Definitely creative interpretation of track limits as Darkness and Gideon side by side around the outside. Darkness goes, and he will try to get the switch back. Doesn't get it done though, and Gideon holds the position. Very crazy, and we've got 16 laps of this race left to go then. And if the track does dry out near the end, it will be Casper's game. But we've got to remember, with the last 6 laps excluded, when that track does get into the into conditions, people might not be going into the pits, so you might only be able to gain a couple positions off that. And Darkness and Gideon both side by side into turn 3. Gideon runs off the track, and Darkness is just going to get ahead there. Yeah, left on. The game has bugged again, which is nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. Yeah, now Captain Smek and Casper. Captain Smek is gaining time back on Casper. I don't know if is Casper gaining on the car behind and the car ahead even? Have a look. He did lose out 3 times, so those wets are definitely at the optimal. But Casper is gaining a lot more in Sector 1, which is interesting to know. Although he is losing out overall, it's around a 6/10 loss from the last two sectors. Lepson for the race to be finished. We just combine. Actually, no, it is the finishing result of whatever happens here. Basically, that's how it's going to finish. And here we go then for the box. And Theo, who is now 11 seconds off, and Johnny getting over 1.3 seconds on him. As Captain Smek also making marginal gains on Casper. He actually might have lost a bit out on that last lap, but is definitely making the gains that he wants. And the practice all spreading out now. In Austria, you would expect DRS trains, lots of following, but the gaps are very much far from seconds from each other. And Lepson disconnected from the session as well. We'll try to get the invite back out to him. But yeah, there seems to be a lot going on with Codemasters recently. So let's hope it does fix itself up. Now Gianni within a second of Theo, although it won't give him DRS, it definitely means he is gaining and gaining and gaining. He will get a bit of benefit from that slipstream now. And we'll also have a bit of a drier track behind him, because rain won't have enough time to resurface itself when, oh, Gianni spins there. And he got a lucky escape, to say the least. And Darkness coming into the pit lane. What is Darkness going to go on to then? Let's have a look. For the McLaren driver, it is going to be the oh, it's going to be the inters for Darkness. So if those inters are going to become the optimal tyre. Oh, never mind. It isn't in this. It is full wet. You're just getting a fresh spring on. And that's dropping down. And oh, Captain Smack round the outside of Casper. Oh, beautiful move there for Captain Spec. And now we're going to get the move done on Casper. That track must be deteriorating because those inters are definitely not working. I mean, they weren't working before, but Casper's going to try to get the inside line on Captain Spec once again. And is going to get a full call up ahead of him. And Captain Spec hits into his rear a little bit, which is going to hinder his exit. But Casper ultimately gets ahead once again. And Captain Trek, oh, he taps the rear of Casper and it spins him right around. And now Casper drops into P8. Definitely a bit risky fighting with the... Anyways, here we go. For Ole, the pit window, if you were on the full wet, it is time for you to come in the pit, unless you stay out, which definitely could be an opportunity because it is going to be full wet until the end of this race. Not full wet. It could go to inters at the end of this race, and there's 13 laps to go. There's the box. Just breezing ahead now, and Johnny hasn't really made much gains on Theo at all since we last checked on him. But might be preparing for an attack. Theo has more ERS, and we'll be looking to just keep it marginal with Johnny. Actually, Johnny is gaining just a tiny bit on Theo and is within a second once again. So sector 2 and sector 3 is definitely where Johnny gets the most out of his time. And now for Ole, I'm going to try get very much closer to ABC. ABC, with that early pick call strategy, did help him out quite a bit. And here we go then for Ole. Round the outside of ABC. Beautiful move. And ABC now coming into the pit lane. What's it going to be for ABC? He might have wing damage. He might be coming on to those inters. Let's have a look at the weather actually, because obviously it will be easing off at the end. It's 30 minutes till it eases off, so I don't think it will be worth to come and pit. And for the Haas driver, it will be the full wet once again. So he is just coming to renew those tyres. Those tyres must be going up just quite a little bit. Oh, and Babarisha. What just happened there? I'm not too sure what happened there. Babarisha definitely overshot to say the least. And that was Casper back up into P7. And Johnny now 8 times as a gap to Theo. He does gain the most in this sector. And here we go then. For Johnny, 7 times is the gap now. And gaining, so he's making marginal gains here. And if you look at Theo, yeah, Johnny gained 4 tenths on that last lap. Now around in the final corner. For both of them, it is gonna be, let's see what the difference is this time. Johnny gained, not Johnny, yeah, Johnny did gain 3 tenths on that last lap. And it is closing very much so. Theo might just be rejuvenating that ERS a bit more than Johnny. Johnny is definitely harvesting both. The same is for Theo. And now Johnny still is just using that slipstream to his advantage. And 4 times is the gap now. It's going closer and closer to each other. And now here we go for Johnny. Once again, just getting closer and closer. Theo definitely gains a bit more in sector 1. And in the entry of sector 2. But this is where Johnny is specialist at. Let's have a look then. See now. Just getting super close. And that dirty air will be the barrier between him actually getting within overtaking distance. And Theo runs a bit wide there. And that's going to be beautifully done by Johnny to try and gain a bit more time on him. But he does not get the best exit. And now Theo still ahead, and now Johnny in the final corner is going to look to get the move done, get closer to Theo, and is unable to do so. 10 laps left of this race end. As the box begins off for lap 36. He is your race leader, everyone. Great drive it's been so far for the McLaren guy, and it's a good time to remind you to vote for your drive of the day. raceunite.net/vote. All votes will be closed at 12 AM tonight, and it will be announced shortly after that. Here we go. It's going to be very, very tight between when this race finishes and when quali begins. It'll be around, I'd say the gap will be just a few minutes off, or maybe just on the dot. Well, here we go. Gianni getting ever more closer to Theo, and W Best also trying to fight for the lower points positions, but points positions indefinitely. And is just eking closer and closer to ABC. Same with ABC getting closer to Casper, and Casper still on those indices definitely chucked that one out like a champ on that last lap. He did lose 2 seconds to Gideon in that Red Bull, so those wets are definitely a lot better than those inners. You got to remember those inners as well will be 21 laps old now, or might just be a little bit less if he did pit. But yeah, Casper definitely losing out. He did have a collision here before. He did touch wheels, and now Casper trying to hold on for this position as much as possible. ABC round the outside. The touch before. And will he get it done this time? He does get the move done this time. And Casper trying not to go out without a fight. Is going to try to send it down the inside, and he runs off the track. And now it's going to allow ABC to just get ahead. But now Casper still by his side trying to get the move done. Really, really reluctant to let it go. Now W Best has got the run on Casper, and we'll go round the outside into turn 1. Let's see how he does that one. Then he's boxed in a little bit by ABC, Casper is, and that sends W Best to the curb, and Casper maintains position. But now Casper is losing out quite significantly to ABC, and is unable to really make any more gains than that. Keep an eye on that battle though, as we now go to Gianni, who is getting closer and closer to Theo. Theo still isn't really using any ERS whatsoever to stay ahead, and that's definitely to his benefit when they do begin this battle momentarily. And W Best and Casper side by side into turn 4. Casper trying to give him as little room as possible. W Best gets a little bit slidey there, but you got to remember W Best is on the better tyres. And Darkness and Forza Game are both side by side. And Bavarie should lose that position there. He loses his wing. And now Darkness down the inside of Forza. He's going to try get the move done. And will get the move done. Forza has to sit behind now. He wants to try getting those points. So you got to remember, there is a big difference with the time penalties in place. And W Best making his way back onto the track now. Lose out to Bavarisha. Bavarisha stays out on track with a broken wing. Very interesting. I want to watch him for a minute and just see how he manages to play this one off against W Best. And surprisingly, he's actually doing pretty well without a wing. Unless it's a visual glitch, I mean, it could be. It's always possible. He's gaining on W Best. It really could just be a visual glitch here. Oh, W Best runs into the side of it and gets the overtake done. Surely he has to give the position back to Bavarisha. That was pretty much an illegal overtake from him. And he doesn't, he lets it go, so that's interestingly moved from him. So now cut down to Gianni once again, who is basically just keeping this gap to Theo. Hasn't really planned to make any attack whatsoever yet. And Theo is definitely charging that ERS. He is ready to defend that, and I think he's just using that to keep the gap between each other. You gotta remember, Gianni will get the DRS on him. Now there's Waters comes in the pit lane and gets some fresh wets on. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh, what happened to W Best there? W Best runs off the track, and now that allows Bavarisha to get ahead. But is he going to go in the pit lane? He is coming in the pit lane. Let's see what he gets on then. As W Best also coming in the pit lane. What is the weather looking like? It is going to fizzle out over the next 15 minutes. But I don't think it's going to be ready yet. And Bavarisha gets like 5 seconds time for speeding into the pit lane. And with the fresh wing on, there we go. 7.57 pit stop, and W Best also onto the full wet, I think. Yes, he is. Okay. And oh no, Theo spins out. He spins into the pit lane even, and that's allows Gianni to get straight past. And that one mistake has definitely cost him quite a lot, and that might allow Ole to get the run on him as well, as he's just re-leveling himself onto the track now, as Ole is now going to round the final corner. And the gap has came down quite a lot, and it's going to be a bit harder for Phil to get himself back on track in the full wet. Those tyres will be fairly hot. And that mistake is costing P2 and it could cost him P3 at the end of this race. There's only 6 laps left to go. And the box has been leading through it all. And it's been a pretty dominant drive from the box today. But once again, Johnny's done everything he can at the moment. Going back from P16, he could be your contender for driver of the day. Remember, you can vote for that at racersunited.net/vote. The vote closes at 12 AM tonight. There you go, you can see start 16, now running in second. There's now, the pack is actually truly separated by over a second for each person. With 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go now as the box crosses the line to begin there. Let's have a look at our fastest sectors so far. There's a 17, a 32 and a 22. Those times are not getting any shorter. And you know what, let's have a look at the best lap between these two. It's a 1:13.7. So with 5 laps left to go, well, it's not even 5 laps, it's, I mean, yeah, it is technically 5 laps left to go. The box has managed to stay clear through it all and is on for his 8th victory of the season. And then it's basically just a countdown for the box. 2 races to go until he can really just check off that he's won this championship. And Les Waters retires in the pit lane, which is obviously a rule which we do not allow, but I mean, this race has been fairly bugged. Everyone involved, so on this occasion it probably could just be let past even, because I don't think anything at this stage in the race will determine what happens. And that Forza Gamer coming out of the pit lane, or it might be Casper coming out of the pit lane. Was that Casper coming out of the pit lane? Was it fresh inters for him? Let's have a look. No, it wasn't fresh inters. Okay, that might have been just a mistake from me. And Darkness and Casper side by side. Oh, that's oh, there's a safety car out on track now. How did that come out? We will not know. But that is going to be very, very interesting to end this race. And here we go, Gianni pits onto the fresh wet. The box hasn't got out in the safety car yet, so everyone will be running under Delta until that happens. So that might allow the box to also come into the pit lane, and he will get a free pit stop over Theo. And Theo is now up into P2 once again. Or they didn't decide to pit, and he might actually come out ahead of Gianni. It's going to be a bit of a late call, and he doesn't. But yeah, 30 seconds is the gap to the box and Theo, so he can definitely go into the pit lane if he wants. And Casper gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the pit lane. Not under the pit lane, under the safety car. And is now going to come into the pit lane. Let's see what he can put on then. Oh, getting very, very slidey. And here we go then, for Casper. 2.2 second pit stop, and he's going to wait out his 5-second time penalty. And the box comes into the pit lane as well. He sees Casper just there. He's definitely lapped quite a couple of people in this race who will be coming to unlap themselves now. Apart from Penguin, who comes in the pit lane, and Lepson. Oh, okay. So Lepson, obviously in the AI mode, did lose out to Black Major there, who is in the AI mode as well, but he did somehow get disconnected from the session. And interesting to know, this safety car will bring out 1 lap of racing if it does end under these conditions, and it will be a pretty tightly packed grid. But with 2 laps, well, 3 full laps left to go, and the F1 starting momentarily, it will come down to the wire for these, and they will just miss out a little bit in Q1. And I don't think will they be able to hold the I don't think we'll be able to withhold the the cooldown room. But this race on Codemaster's part has been pretty shambolic, and Bavarisha gets disqualified from the session for ignoring the yellow flag, which is interesting, but definitely. But in that case, that might be the end of his run in Racers United. Another DSQ, multiple DSQs is definitely never good. And here we go. Lap 27. The pack's just getting back together. I didn't even think it'll get back together before the safety car gets underway once again. And will the safety car come in at the end of this lap? I think it might come in at the end of this lap, which will leave for one lap of racing. If it doesn't come in at the end of this lap, then the race will end under safety car, which we've never really seen before in the league, but will be very interesting. And the safety car is just getting ready, getting itself all prepped up. But it will be carnage if this does determine the end of this race. And here we go once again. If anyone is in AI mode, they probably should get out because that will make them stop on the track. And who hasn't caught up yet? I think Bowser and Casper both haven't caught up. Will they be able to catch up for the end of this race then? We'll see, but we haven't entered Sector 3 yet, so we won't know if this safety car is going to come in yet or not. And it'll get announced very shortly. But will everyone be able to catch up in time? That'll be interesting to note. The safety car, will it be coming in? The safety car's staying out. Okay. The race will be ending under the safety car then. And that, what we see right now will be the finishing order to this race. As we now start the final lap of this race, it will be under safety car. And yeah, this is how the race is going to finish then. The box, Theo, Gianni, Gianni pitting there, has lost him P2, and that's lost him some serious points. And that is vital for Gianni's championship battle, as well as for Theo, who can gain quite significantly over Black Major and Ole. But the box, he got himself so much closer to the end of this championship. Oh no, Ole spins out, Ole spins out! No, Ole spins out into the last lap, under the safety car, and that's going to see him running at the end in P8. And he's going to try to get the position back. I don't think, will the game allow him to get the position back? It won't let him get the position back, and that's Ole quite in the mud, and that might allow Theo to jump himself up into P3, and the safety car's in this lap. But it won't matter, because the safety car will not be enough for the box to lose position at all. And although it might make the game wait, we're going to cut to the box now as the safety car is coming in. And the box will just be looking to get this race over and done with. As here we go then. The box, he's had an amazing race. Led from start to finish, obviously him and Darkness both running 1-2 at the start. Darkness had a collision, but the box has managed to persevere through it all. He's managed to come on top after the red flag, and here we go. He's going to get us running, but it won't matter because the box, round in the final corner, is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix. And what a race it has been for him. Absolutely amazing stuff from everyone involved today. And yeah, that is the end of this race. Absolutely spectacular. I mean, if they want to go and do some donuts, they can go and do donuts. We will not be against that. But yeah, the race has ended under absolute pure carnage, as per usual. And we're going to get all the warnings and everything here, just as we normally do at the end of the race. Well, yeah. Good stuff from everyone involved today. And yeah, your winner, the box, he's doing donuts. There we go. We never get to see this ever. And yeah, the box winner of this race. Gianni, quote unquote, leading the race. If anyone does want to finish up the session and save the replay, like, you can do that. But yeah, good stuff. Let's exit to the main menu now. But that was today's race, and although it did end under certain circumstances, which is really unfortunate, we cannot do anything about that. So, yeah, we're going to end the stream there. We can't even do the cooldown. Everyone enjoy Q1 and Bugmasters extraordinaire.